everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're blasting off to the final frontier. But we're not just sightseeing. We're looking at the nitty-gritty, the often overlooked, and frankly, the terrifying reality of life on the edge of space. Forget the gleaming starships and utopian colonies for a moment. Let's talk about the million ways to die on the space frontier. It's a harsh reality, check. But understanding the risks is the first step to overcoming them. So, you've made it. You're a pioneer on a newly established outpost, maybe on Mars or a moon of Jupiter. The view is breathtaking. But the environment outside your habitat is relentlessly hostile, the most immediate and obvious. Danger, a breach, a tiny micrometeoroid, no bigger than a grain of sand, could punch through the hull of your habitat or your EVA suit in an instant. The precious, breathable air is sucked into the vacuum. This is called explosive decompression. Your lungs would rupture, and the liquids in your body would literally begin to boil. It's a swift and brutal end. A constant threat that every single piece of equipment is designed to prevent. Even without a dramatic breach, the vacuum of space is a minefield. Let's talk about radiation. Without Earth's magnetic field and thick atmosphere to protect you, you're exposed to a constant shower of galactic cosmic rays and solar particles. This isn't like getting a sunburn. This is high-energy radiation that slices through DNA, dramatically increasing your risk of cancer and causing long-term cellular damage. Shielding helps, but on a long-duration mission or in a fledgling colony. Limiting your lifetime exposure is a constant battle. It's a slow, invisible threat. An unseen countdown ticking away in your very cells. Now, let's step inside the habitat. You're safe from the vacuum, right? Well, not entirely. Your life support system is the single most important piece of technology you have. It's your personal slice of Earth's atmosphere, a complex dance of oxygen generation, carbon dioxide scrubbing, water recycling, and temperature control. If any one of these systems fails, things get bad. Fast, a glitch in the CO2 scrubbers? You'll slowly poison yourself on your own breath, becoming lethargic, confused, and eventually losing consciousness. A failure in the oxygen generator? The clock is ticking until you suffocate. It's a fragile, man-made bubble of life in an endless void. And what about the basics? Food and water. On Earth, we take them for granted. In space, they are meticulously rationed resources. A crop failure in the hydroponics bay isn't just a financial loss, it's a potential death sentence. A contamination in the water recycling system could spread illness through the entire crew. With terrifying speed, imagine the psychological pressure of knowing that every sip of water and every bite of food is part of a finite supply. A delicate chain that, if broken, means starvation or dehydration hundreds of millions of miles from the nearest grocery store. The human body itself becomes a source of danger. We evolved for Earth's gravity. In the low-gravity environments of the Moon or Mars, or the zero-G of a space station, our bodies start to change. Muscles atrophy, bones lose density at an alarming rate, a condition similar to osteoporosis. Your cardiovascular system gets lazy, and even your sense of balance is thrown completely out of whack. These aren't just inconveniences. That bone loss makes fractures much more likely. A simple fall could be catastrophic, and if you ever need to return to a higher gravity environment, your weakened body might not be able to handle the strain. Then there's the medical side of things. What happens if you get appendicitis or a severe injury? There are no emergency rooms on the frontier. The doctor is likely one of your fellow colonists with advanced medical training. But they're not a fully equipped surgical team. A medical emergency that would be routine on Earth becomes a life or death crisis. Performing surgery in zero-G is an absolute nightmare. with fluids floating everywhere. Sickness and injury are a far greater threat when you ray the only medical help. For millions of miles, let's not forget the hardware. You're relying on machines built by the lowest bidder, just kidding. But you are relying on complex machinery that can and will break down. A critical power failure could plunge your habitat into freezing darkness, shutting down life support. A guidance computer malfunction during a landing could turn your billion-dollar lander into a crater. A rover breakdown miles from base could leave an explorer stranded with a limited oxygen supply. Every piece of equipment, from a door seal to a rocket engine, is a potential point of failure between you and a cold, silent death. And finally, we have to talk about the one thing you can't escape from, your own mind. Imagine being confined in a small space with the same few people for years. The isolation, the monotony, the constant, low-level stress, and the knowledge that you are unimaginably far from home. This psychological pressure is immense. Interpersonal conflicts can escalate. Paranoia can set in. Depression and anxiety are real and present dangers. A psychological break in a single crew member could endanger everyone. In the unforgiving environment of space, a sound mind is just as critical as a sound spacesuit. So, why do we do it? Why face these million ways to die? Because for every risk, there is a reward. The pursuit of knowledge, the drive to explore, the dream of becoming a multiplanetary species. The people who go to the space frontier are not reckless, they are brave. They are pioneers who understand the dangers and work tirelessly to mitigate them. They are building the future, one calculated risk at a time. The frontier is dangerous, but it's also where humanity's next great chapter will be written. Thank you so much for watching. It's a sobering topic, but a fascinating one. What do you think is the biggest danger for future space colonists? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the harsh realities of space, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into science and exploration. Until next time, stay curious.